how do you solve for women that have children? How do you solve for who's the caretaker of the children?
So honestly, this has been a passion project of mine, and I feel very, very strongly about this. Have conversations about it like frequently with even, Isha and I discuss this, Maniti and I discuss this all the time. But I think, again, in today's day and age, with the kind of technology we have, it's so enabling to allow the flexibility we discussed earlier, remote working. We are so blessed in India to live in joint families for a large part. And I think grandparents want more time with their kids, or like family members want more time.
Activating that.
It's really about the village, right? Like, I think even now, when we have friends who are working longer hours, it's not tough to call someone up and be like, hey, like, can my kid come over and play for like 2 hours? I have to do this thing. And everyone sort of leans on each other. So in terms of how do you solve for women who have children, I think there's multiple things that you look at. One is like, what does that woman want to do? Because I don't think anyone should be shamed if they want to enjoy being a mom. Like, it's fine to like take that time as well. Really feel like I've given this my all, and you never stop.
Yeah, and it's also it's the most important job in the world. And I don't think anything
nothing
comes
compares.
Close to
You're
that.
Also essentially creating something that you're leaving behind in the world. You want to do a really good job at what at who you raise, essentially. So there's one, like, that piece, which I feel like nobody should be shamed for being a mom. The second piece, which I found really lovely to see, is that so many companies are offering to pay for childcare. It's really nice. We have different, like, women who come into work and they say that, like, okay, like, if we want to enroll over here, like, we're going to cover the cost, so just invoice my company, don't invoice me. And that's been really nice to see. We've seen different creche models, even in non-profits. They had, one really famous non-profit is called Mumbai Mobile Creches, and it's a Tata non-profit, Tata funded non-profit, and they used to just go to construction sites and start creches, so that even women who were in the workforce could leave their kids. Their kids would be like educated, taught, and women would do their daily work and come back, pick up their kids and take them home. And there are many non-profits that we see right now that offer this sort of daycare, essentially, where they educate at their centers while the parents are working, and then you come back, pick them up, especially for people who are homeless and things like that. I think the other thing that we have to allow for is remote working solutions, because there's not necessarily many things that you can achieve in person that you can't achieve over a phone call or over an email or over, this, you work from Dubai and you're like interviewing us here in Bombay. There's some things that make it worth it to fly down for, but you do that like for 2 days, and then the other 5 days you can avail of this remote working arrangement. And I think, again, like, we're not in that day and age anymore where you're like trying to keep like an hourly sheet saying I've clocked 2 hours, I've clocked 4 hours. We're more interested in what the outcome is. And that's now possible to do even with technology. I have a friend who developed a software during COVID, which could be installed in somebody's browser, and they would just track how many hours they spent on different apps. So everyone was working from home and they were all doing this. But even in smaller towns, like where they are doing, like they're teaching basic accounting, they're teaching financial literacy and all, it's traveling to them. So I feel like if you can find someone, you can do it. There are women who do it when their kids are napping. When their kids are asleep in the night, they do it through like phones and apps. So as long as there's a will, there really is a way. And India, more than any other country in the world, I feel really allows for that village to help you look after your kids.
I think the village for everybody is different. For us, it may be like, if you live in joint families and live in India, it may be a family. But I've seen like, even with our house help and things like that, like my son's caretaker, like sometimes I wonder how does her family manage, and they also have people, like there is a community, and I think community is so important to everything that we do. And
there are a couple of really cool startups also, like Jobs for Her and stuff, whom we have worked with in the past as well, where their whole goal is to help women who have taken a brief sabbatical find a role that fits what they're looking for. And so for us, I feel like we meet women like that every day who either want to do it temporarily, who want to do it for some time to see if they're okay with it. And it really helps them get the confidence to sort of go back and enter the workforce again.
What's been your biggest win with ConnectFor?
I think surviving. Honestly, like I think
I love that.
Yeah, I think our biggest win is we started at like 22, 23, not married, not mothers, not sure of anything except that we wanted to build something. And then finding every day that we had the potential to grow more and doing it like despite all the other challenges. And really, to be honest, like we have to give full credit to our families and all the people around us, because none of this would have been possible if they weren't supportive and if they didn't believe in it as much as we did. But like our parents take great pride, our husbands take great pride now in saying that, yeah, this is what my wife does. And I think they sort of advertise us better than we ever
Yeah,
would.
for sure.
So,
we always do though.
It's really, really lovely to see. And yeah, for me, just believing that we can do more has been such a win. Like, I don't feel like our work is done. I'm excited to do more.
I think for me, the biggest one is building the ConnectFor team. I think to find people with that shared vision, to really put in the hours. I think maybe the first 5 years we were like all in, and we still are, but I think in terms of time, as you know, we also ended up getting married like 3 weeks apart from each other.
Oh, wow.
We also had children
2 months
or 2 months apart from each other. I mean, these things just happen. So it's not like if one of us was there, the other wasn't. We have been away at the same time through this journey. And it's not, I don't think there's been a single day in the last 10 years that ConnectFor has been like off or shut shop, or like there's never been that period. So I think and I think Shloka kept telling me, like, I was really stressed when we were getting married at the same time. I was like, you know, how will this work? And, you know, we have commitments and things like that. And she was like, we just need to find the right people. And I'm like, yeah, but that's really hard. Like,
so much easier said than done.
Yeah.
But I really genuinely believe that you have to build for something larger than yourself. Like, no one is indispensable, right? Like, tomorrow, no matter what happens, like the idea of ConnectFor should continue to persist. Whether or not, like, and that's true for anyone who's trying to build anything. I think the sign of a good leader is someone who builds something that doesn't necessarily need them as much. Like, you'll always be captain, you'll always help with the vision, you'll always guide something. But people should feel equally invested. They should all be driving towards the same goal. And ultimately, they should, I really believe, be able to build and grow with or without you. And I think that's been a
for me, that's definitely been like the first few years, it was hard. Like we spoke about it already, like, you know, people were leaving every 6 months, and now like to have a stable team, somebody we can depend on, who is, I mean, that's a privilege that we have now, that we are able to live a balanced life with our children and our families because we've been able to build this team. So I think for me, that's been really the biggest win. And I mean, I genuinely think nothing would be possible without them. So,
So what is your ambition style? You spoke about a few ambition styles. So what are both of yours?
Like I said, I really believe that ambition doesn't need to be loud. It should just be audacious.
And is yours audacious?
I think so. I feel like my work is never done. I feel like every day when I go home from whatever I've been doing, I'm still thinking about like, like this could have happened like this, or down the line, I feel like this can happen and we can do this. And I feel like personally, I'm the more risk-taking one between the two of us.
For sure.
And I think that like, I really, really believe that opportunities come to you as gifts. And like, there's no reason, if we feel like we can even learn something, you know, like, I think it's a really nice line that you're either winning or you're learning. Like, I don't think that there's any losing, especially not over here. And I think that if we take all the chances that we get, we're going to grow something. And it's still going to be better than what it was before. And so for me, I feel like there is, you know, no finish line. There's no like end size that ConnectFor can grow to. Maniti spoke a little bit earlier about how we came upon the name ConnectFor, and it's actually really funny because when we had developed our first website, we had like a little logo, and the end of ConnectFor was a highlighter mark. And that word in the highlighter mark kept changing. It would be like ConnectFor happiness, ConnectFor love, ConnectFor like
change,
purpose, ConnectFor change, ConnectFor whatever. And I think that, honestly believe that we couldn't have then also prophesized that we were so right in this name, because ultimately ConnectFor can be anything. And it's really, really up to us where we take it. And I think we have no intention of stopping. We're very happy to keep growing. And there's a whole country, there's a whole world where people will need us. And so we will take every opportunity we get, and we'll keep doing what we do.